Hello and welcome back to UFFCN webinar. My name is Ankita.
And I'm Manasvi Priyadarshi.
So Manasvi, what are we going to learn today?
So today we are going to see what Chrome Development Toolkit is and what are all its features, how are we going to we are going to explore it all, we are going to see what's inside it. So that's what this webinar is going to be all about.
Okay. So Manasvi, we all know that Chrome Development Toolkit is used for debugging and inspecting any web app.
Yes.
But why is it being used by developer all around the world? Can you tell in more details?
Yes. So the thing is, Chrome Development Toolkit helps us with a lot of things while developing a web app.
Yeah.
So we can inspect, we can debug the web app, we can do profiling, the CPU memory profiling, and we can analyze the performance of our web app. We can explore the source file. We can do multiple things in our Chrome Development Toolkit. So the thing is, if I get a bit more deeper into it,
Yeah.
so your web app, it is it has a lot of entry points. It is event based, so whatever you do in your web app, different portions of your codes actually run.
Yeah.
So what happens is it becomes difficult to keep a track of all those codes, like which part of my code is running. You can have multiple JavaScript files, so you never know where the flow is jumping from one function to another. So if you want a good log of it, like or you want a stack trace of it, so those are the things where Chrome Development Toolkit comes into picture. It helps you give a very verbose log, and it helps you identify what is the flow of your app, whether it's running fine or not.
Yeah.
If it's not, then where the problem is occurring. And apart from that, it gives you a very good structure of DOM tree. You can see how your web app looks like in HTML and CSS, and you can change them too. And you can see the change right there in your app. So there are multiple use cases to Chrome Development Toolkit, and since it has so many use cases, it's being used by them all around the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you said, we can perform many tasks in it. Then
Yes.
how do we use them? Can you show in it like different parts of this?
Okay, so Chrome Development Toolkit has quite a different, many panels, and it has got a device mode too.
Yeah.
Say you want to check how does your app look like in your phone.
Yeah.
So you can do it right inside the Chrome.
Okay.
So you have a mode for that, that's device mode, and you have multiple panels too. Now if I switch to my screen, I'll be able to show you the different parts of it. So
Okay.
let me just switch to my screen.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I have Google opened here. So I'll just open the toolkit. So there are multiple ways to open the toolkit. So what you can do is you can do a right click and go to inspect.
Okay.
Okay. And the toolkit will open right here. You can choose how to keep it. So I'll just undock it and bring it out.
Okay.
Okay, so this is one of the ways to open the toolkit. If I close it and do a right click again, it says Control plus Shift plus I.
Yeah.
For MacBook users, it's Command plus Shift plus I. So if I press that too, my developer tool will open.
Yeah, exactly.
So these are the few ways to open it. Now if I want to go to the device mode,
Yeah.
okay, there is this toggle device toolbar right here.
Yeah.
So if I click on it, and you'll be able to see that I'm getting a device view here.
Yeah.
So let me just dock it back again. And you can see it looks like a mobile, right? And you can change the width and height of this device the way you want it to.
Okay.
And you'll be able to see how your web page looks like here. So let's switch back to our original desktop mode. Okay. Now let me undock it again. Okay. So as you can see, we have multiple panels here. We have
Yeah.
network panel selected by default. In this case, usually you'll get the elements panel
Okay.
selected. Okay. So inside elements panel, we have this console here. We can use this console too.
Okay.
We have console individually, like if I just want the console panel. So elements panel basically shows you the DOM tree here and the styles associated with it. It gives you which events are there any breakpoints in the DOM.
Okay.
Okay. And it kind of shows you inside CSS if this is my element or a box, then this is the border, what is padding, what is margin.
Yeah.
Okay, it gives you an information about those things so that while applying CSS you can refer to it.
Yeah.
Okay, and if I go to any of these element inside the DOM tree, it will show me which part of it is selected. So if I select this div, it shows me in this highlighted color, the blue color,
Yeah.
that this part belongs to this div. Now if I go inside these, it will show me the different parts of it.
Yeah.
Okay, and I can change the style here too.
Okay.
Okay, the CSS is given right here, and it also tells us where it has been inherited from. So if we have some kind of a property that we haven't defined on the CSS explicitly here,
Okay.
then it also tells me which parent class has it inherited those properties from.
Okay.
So that's about elements panel, and this is the console panel. This is what we'll be working on this week. Okay, so we can write our JavaScript commands here right in this
Okay.
console, and we can see what happens like whenever we write it. So if I just do a console log hi, then it will give me it will run it.
Yeah.
So since JavaScript is an interpreter, so it will interpret it like
Yeah.
line by line, and just like Python or any other interpreted language.
Okay.
Okay, then we have sources. So here we can go ahead and browse our source files.
Okay.
Okay, and then we have the network panel. So it tells us quite a lot of data, quite a lot of things like how fast is our website loading. We can use the throttle here. We can limit the speed and check how fast our app is loading or not.
Yeah.
So this is about network. It tells us like how much time is it taking to load, which file is large, which file is small, those sort of things.
Yeah.
Okay, then we have the performance tab. So
Okay.
previously it used to be timeline tab since Chrome version 58.
Okay.
They have changed the name to performance tab.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we'll see the performance aspect of our app, and then we have the memory panel, like how much memory is our app taking,
Yeah.
those sort of things. We can do we can search for memory leaks here if we have any memory leak bugs. Then we have the application tab.
Okay.
Okay, so this kind of tells me all about the database associated with it and other things about it. So we have the cache here, we have frames, and then we have the security panel. So
Okay.
this is related to the security, maybe the certificate issues and those sort of things.
Okay.
So I have these other three tabs here too, but like when you install Chrome, these three won't be there.
Okay.
They are they have come because I have installed some plugins
Yeah.
in my
Okay.
Chrome.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are the main tabs that we are concerned about. So we'll be taking up each tab in each of the webinars. So yes,
So Manasvi, as we saw so many features here,
yes,
so can you tell me like but the scope of this webinar is like console panel.
yes, console
So
panel.
we will be more discuss about that.
Yes, we'll be discussing more about that. So, like if we go back and just go to the next slide, we'll see that which um, parts of console panel are we going to see. So
Okay.
Chrome gives us a lot of options, a lot of command line, command line, command line actions here, like
Yeah.
console.log or console.error,
Yeah.
those things. So we are going to see which all commands have they given. We will be looking at each of these. So we have console log, console error, console warn.
Okay.
We have console group, table, time,
Yeah, exactly.
timestamp, count. We have a
Yeah.
lot of them. Trace, on error, dir XML. So even though there are a lot of things, yeah, we are going to cover each of them one by one,
Yeah,
and we
fine.
are going to see what each of them do.
Yeah. So
Okay.
let's switch to the Manasvi's screens.
Yes. So let's go back to my screen
Yeah.
and see what each of them are. So I'll just dock it back. Right. Okay. So I'll just go to the console panel here,
Okay.
and this is where. So the first thing that we came across was console log. So console.log, as you can see, it just gives me hi. So this is the most commonly used one where we can just log our message to the console.
Okay.
So our message here is hi. So it has been logged to the console, and these are the normal logs that I'll see. Like if I have to give some
Yeah.
info about our app, that okay, the maybe after a user has logged in, if I want to check whether he has logged in or not. So what we can do is just put a console.log there, and we
Okay.
can just print the message that the user has logged in. Maybe
Okay.
we can give the name of the user there.
Yeah.
Then we have console.error. So console.error, and we can just say this is wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, this is an error. Maybe this is an error. So as you can
Okay.
see, this comes in a red color.
Yeah.
So like whenever we have to specify an error, we can use console.error here.
Okay.
Whenever something has happened that was not intended to,
Yeah.
we can use console.error there because it's red in color. It's eye catching, and I can
Yeah.
just go ahead and identify that this is the error. And with every error, we have a stack associated with it.
Okay.
So I can just this is an expandable log. So if I click on it, it will tell me from where has the error occurred.
Okay.
So it will give me a full trace of it,
Yeah.
like which function was called before this, which function was called before that.
Okay.
A full stack of it from where it originated.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have something called console.warn. So we can just say this is a warning, and this will give me a warning, and this comes in a yellowish orangish color.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. And this is for specifying a warning. Say something is happening that is not supposed to happen, but it's not really an error.
Okay.
We can proceed with this happening, but it should not happen ideally.
Okay.
In that case, we use a warning statement. Okay, maybe you can think of this as, if I'm doing something wrong, say for the newer versions of JavaScript, document.write,
Yeah.
they say that it is a violation of the rules. Um, you should not use it.
Okay. Yeah.
So it will give me a warning if I use document.write.
Okay.
Yeah. So, in situations like those, we use console.warn.
Okay.
So we have something called console.debug too. So if I want to give a debug message, I use console.debug.
Yeah.
This is a debug. And this is kind of similar to log, but there's a different color. Just just so that I can specify that this is a debug
Yeah,
log.
visibility will be there.
Okay. And then you see here we have a different level of console logs that we get. So we can select between verbose, we can select info, warnings, or just errors.
Okay.
So if I select just errors, it would show me just the error. Now if I just change it to warnings, then it will show me warning and error. If I choose info, then apart from debug, I'll get info, I'll get warning, and I'll get error. And if I
Okay.
choose verbose, I'll get everything.
Okay.
Okay. So those are the levels that I can select here.
Yeah.
So that's why so many kind of logging techniques, console.log, console.debug, console.error, and console.warn.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next thing that I'm going to talk about is console.group.
Okay.
Okay. So console.group, for demonstrating console.group, I'll just create a simple page.
Okay.
Okay. Very simple. It wouldn't have anything. It will be blank. So let's just start with. Okay. Let's just create a file here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
Index.html. So touch index.html. Okay, it has come here. So we can edit it. Okay. So HTML. Okay. So console. About console. So inside the body, I'm just going to write some scripts. I'm not going to write any div or anything else.
Okay.
Okay, I'll add them later on if necessary.
Okay. Fine.
So for now, it's not necessary. So if I just do a console dot group, I give it a name, say group 1. And console.group always comes with console.groupEnd.
Okay.
Okay. So console.groupEnd. And we have to give the same name.
Okay.
So console.group specifies the starting of this group, and
Yeah.
group end specifies the ending of this group.
Ending of this.
So if I just copy paste it again with group 2, and we do a console log here. Hello. And I can just copy paste it. Hi. And let's just do it again. So we can just say hola. And bonjour.
Fine.
Okay. So let's just save it and try running this index.html here. So I'll just open it. So we have webinar week 19 index.html.
Okay.
So as you can see, we inside group 1 we have hello and hi. Inside
Yeah.
group 2 we have hola and bonjour.
Whole and one.
Okay, so it's collapsible
Okay.
and I can expand it.
Yeah.
So what happens here is, if my logs belong to one group,
Okay.
I can put it inside a group. So
Okay.
say group 1 was, let's just change it. So make it English. Okay. And let's make it foreign. So if I refresh it, then in English we say hello and hi. And in the other foreign languages like Spanish and French,
Okay.
say hola and bonjour.
Oh.
So like we can see the English logs inside the English group,
Yeah.
and we can see the foreign logs inside the foreign group,
Yeah. Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So that's how you can keep all of your logs inside a group if you want to.
Okay.
So it becomes easier to search for a specific log. Say you have an app that is very big and it has got a lot of logs.
Yeah.
Then you would probably want to keep it in some groups so that it's easier to identify. It's just like keeping songs in your computer.
Yeah.
So you always sort it in
Yeah,
folders, right?
exactly.
Okay. So it's easier to search for those songs. So it's
Yeah.
easier to search for the logs here too.
Yeah, so basically we can group our logs here, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So what we can do more here is we can have a nested group.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So say inside English, if I want, if I have a lot of logs, I can
Yeah.
group those logs too.
Okay, that's
Okay.
really nice.
So what you need to do is just inside, just for the simplicity of it, I'll make it a bit indented so that you know that this log belongs to this group.
Okay.
Okay, we have, can do is, no, I can just write
Yeah.
1 and 2 here.
Okay.
So I'll just say that this belongs to maybe alphabets, okay, or
Yeah.
characters maybe,
Yeah.
and this is numbers, right?
Yeah.
So we'll just have to put console.groupEnd here too. And similarly here. Now if I go ahead and refresh it, you can see we have multi-level grouping here.
Yeah, exactly.
So inside English we have characters
Yeah.
and we have numbers.
Numbers.
So we can have nested groups too.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah. So shall we move on to the next one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So the next one here is console.table.
Okay.
Okay. So let me show you what console.table does. So I'll just comment it out. We don't need it as of now. Okay. So what do you do when you have multiple arrays to compare, or maybe multiple objects? Say I have 5 arrays and I want to compare the numbers inside them.
Okay, yeah.
So like how do we compare it? If we just print those arrays in our console log, so if I just say console.log and I print an array and I do the same thing and I print another array, 4, 5 and 6. Now how do you compare these two arrays? Like and say it has got a lot of elements here.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be a very easy task.
Yeah,
right?
it will be good.
So what Chrome Development Toolkit, these guys have done here is they have provided us with a function called console.table.
Okay.
So we can visualize these arrays or objects inside a table so
Yeah.
that it's easier to compare us each column and each row.
Okay.
So what we do here is say we have, let's take the example of
Console.table.
okay, so say we have 2 objects here.
Okay.
Okay, so in the first object the name is ABC and the phone number is 1234. In the second one, similarly, we have similar properties.
Yeah.
So say the name is XYZ and phone is 9876.
Okay.
Now if I save it and refresh my console, okay, it's not happening here. check it here.
Yeah, sure.
Console.table. Let's check it with array. 4, 5, 6. But it's not showing anything. Mm,
I think this seems to be a very good command here, where we can compare two arrays.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I can't seem to make it work, but it kind of.
Yeah, because we always face problem while we comparing two arrays, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, well, this gives me. Let's see, why isn't it happening? Okay, I'll come back to it. Why is it not happening? Let's move on to the next
Yeah, sure.
one. So the next one we have here is console.time.
Okay.
Okay. So let's just see what console.time does.
Let me guess this, Manaswi, console.time.
Okay.
I think it is something related with time stamp with
Yes.
message or something like that.
Yeah, it's very close to that. It's very
Okay.
similar to it. It does give me the time, like the time taken to execute a piece of code.
Okay.
So like we have console.group and console.groupEnd.
Okay.
We have something called console.time and console.timeEnd.
Okay.
So whenever we are executing some part of our code, some chunk of the code, like say you implemented an algorithm
Yeah.
inside your JavaScript, and you want to know how much time is it taking to execute that portion of the code.
Yeah.
So like the JavaScript way of doing it is we take the timestamp before
Yeah.
starting the algorithm.
Okay.
We take the timestamp after the algorithm has finished, and we take a difference between those time,
Okay.
and we get how much time has it taken to
Yeah.
execute that piece of code.
Okay.
Now what we can do is console.time and algo1. So even it we have to give the same name
Yeah.
while writing console.timeEnd too.
Okay.
So we have console.timeEnd. Let's write algo 1 again. Now inside this we can have a loop. So for variable I equals 0, I lesser than say 10 power 6, and I plus plus.
Okay.
Okay, inside this loop, um, well, we can do anything. Say variable a equals to 5. No, it doesn't do anything, but it will just tell me how much time does it take for a loop that is running 10 power 6 times.
Okay.
Okay. So if I save it and if I refresh it, it will give me that algo1 took 7.029 milliseconds,
Yeah.
right? And just to see that it's working fine, let's add another 0 here.
Okay.
Okay. So ideally it should take somewhere around 70 milliseconds. Okay, it took 46 milliseconds.
Fine.
Okay. So as we have increased the loop, the time has increased.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, that's how you use the time here. And also I'll want to show you here that if you go to the performance tab, okay, and you hit on record and you do a refresh here, you stop. Okay, it should show you how much time algo 1 took here.
Yeah.
Event log. console here. Okay, as you can see this part
Yeah.
inside the console, this is the portion where algo1 ran, and as it is saying 58.36 milliseconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it here. It's in green color. It's not that visible, but you'll see that this is the 58.37 seconds
Yeah,
showing
exactly.
it, showing right here.
Yeah.
Maybe no, increasing the size doesn't increase this one. So, anyways, you can check it out on your own system here. That inside the console one, you'll be able to see this algo one right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what console.time and console.timeEnd does. And let's go see the next one.
Yeah.
So we have console.count.
Okay.
So console.count, what does it do? Say, let's take an example here.
Yeah.
Okay. Say there is a shopping mall
Okay.
and we have 4 people.
Yeah.
Now console.count will tell me if entering shopping mall is
Yeah.
a function, then console.count will tell me how many times each of those 4 persons have entered the shopping mall.
Shopping mall.
Yeah. So say I have a function here. Let's give it a name. Variable enter mall equals function user. And then I just do a console.count. Okay. User has entered the mall. This user has entered the mall. Number of times user has entered the mall.
Yeah.
Right? Number of time entered the mall. So we just do this, and we call this function enter mall. Let's give the name A. Enter mall B. Then let's copy paste it. A again, then C entered.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So we can just save it, and let's go back to our console panel.
Yeah.
Refresh it. So it's saying number of time A has entered the mall is 1. Then number of time B has entered the mall is 1.
One.
The number of time A has entered the mall is 2 here. And then for C it's 1 again.
Yeah.
So it's very easy to keep a count of how many times an event has happened, how many
Yeah.
times that function has been called with a specific parameter.
Okay.
So we can keep a track of that. So there are many use cases to it, like how many times has a user signed in to a website,
Yeah.
or how many times has a user opened a specific website.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, so if you check my log, you'll see that Facebook has been opened a lot of times here.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, that's pretty much about console.count.
Console.com.
And let's just go back to the slide and show them the next set of commands that we have. We have console.trace, we have window.onerror,
Yeah.
we have console.dir and console.dirxml. We have this $$$$$x and inspect, and we have monitoring events.
Yeah.
So if I switch back to my screen, let's go over it one at a time. So the first one is console.trace here.
Yeah.
Right? So let's put this all in comments and go to console.trace.
Trace.
Now trace, as the name suggests, will give you a stack of all the functions that has been called.
Okay.
Okay, so say I have 3 functions, function A, B and C. So a equals function, and there is some code here. I have another function b,
Yeah.
and we have again some code,
Yeah.
and say we have function c, and we have some code here again. Now from c I'm going to call b,
Okay.
from b we are going to call a,
A.
and inside a I'm going to do a console.trace.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we can also give a message here,
Yeah.
so showing the trace, or showing the call stack.
Okay.
Okay, so let's save it, and we have to call function c2.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, let's run it. Okay, console dot trace. Let's try removing it. Save it. Okay, so console.trace has given me
Yeah.
like which functions were called and where are they in index.html.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, so a is at 37, and the stack goes this way. The a was called last,
Yeah.
before that b was called, and before that c was called.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it says anonymous here because c was called from the global scope.
Okay.
Okay, so as you can see we have the file and the line number 2. So we have line number 47, and we can see in line number 47 we have call to c.
Call to C.
Then call to b is from line number 45.
45.
So as you can see here,
Yeah.
we have 45.
Yeah.
Then
right.
similarly b was called at line number 41,
41.
and a was called at line number 37.
37.
So it's very like easy to trace these functions that were called. So say a function can be called from multiple points, right?
Yeah.
Now any crash is happening inside that function.
Yeah.
Now you need to know from where the function was called. So at that point of time this call stack comes in handy.
Yeah.
So it will tell me which function called it. Say 10 functions are calling this function, then it will tell me which function among those 10 has called
Okay.
it. So that's
Okay.
how we backtrack to where the problem might have begun.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes. So that's what console.trace does.
Yeah. I think Manasvi, it is very important command, as here we can see, as you have said about.
Yes.
You have said like means when your applications are crashing, so at
Yeah,
that time we
that-
can
That is the main point where this comes in handy.
yeah.
Like when the applications are crashing.
Yeah.
So it helps us trace back from where the crash might have started.
Yeah.
Maybe some value might have got corrupted.
Yeah.
So where did the value get corrupted? In which function did it happen? So we can backtrack those, and we can identify that specific point
Oh.
using console.trace.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we have something called window.onerror.
Okay.
Okay. So window.onerror is also a command here that is provided by console.
Okay.
Okay, so what happens inside this is whatever exception happens, whatever error happens, window.onerror is called.
Okay.
Okay, so if I have window.onerror, it will be called. So many times what happens is, even if I have try and catch,
Yeah.
some exceptions are overlooked, like they're not caught. In that case, like we won't be able to show what the error might have been.
Yeah.
So window.onerror helps us do that.
Okay.
Yes. So like even if we have console.error
Yeah.
with us, then it only gets called when an exception is caught, but window.onerror is called every time an error occurs
Yeah.
or every time an exception happens.
Yeah.
So if you're using window.onerror, you can be
Okay.
sure that okay, my code is like whatever error happens to my code, I'll be able to catch that.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's about window.onerror. And we have console.dir.
Okay.
Okay. So for console.dir and console.dirxml, I'll write some script here inside body.
Okay.
So say I have one div. Let it be ABC here. We have another div. And inside this div, I have paragraph elements too.
Okay.
And I have some random text here.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have another paragraph tag. We can have some other random text. So these are the two divs here. So if I save it and go to Chrome and refresh it, I'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
Okay, if I go to elements, I'll be able to see how my DOM tree looks like.
Yeah.
So like we are not concerned about the script as of now. So we have div, we have the paragraphs.
Yeah.
So this is ABC.
Okay.
Now as you can see, whenever I'm moving over it, it is selecting that specific paragraph
Yeah,
here, right?
exactly.
But what if I want to do it programmatically?
Okay.
Okay. So what we can do here is just try it out. Console.dir.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. That's a function. So console.dir. And I have to pass in an argument here. Say I want to analyze my document here.
Document.
So I'll pass the reference to document here.
Okay.
So it will give me the complete document tree. It will give me the complete object of document here.
Yeah.
What properties does it have, and each of those properties have a specific value related to it. So what values does it have?
Okay.
Sort of thing. So inside document we have body. Inside body we'll have children nodes. So we have 7 children nodes here.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can analyze each and every of these properties here.
Yeah.
So usually what we do is document.body.firstChild. That
Okay.
will give me the first child of body. The first child of my body was this div,
Yeah.
right? Div with ABC. So it will give me all the information about that specific first child.
Okay.
Okay. What text does it have? No, like kind of everything about it.
Exactly.
Okay. So that's what console.dir does.
Okay.
Now, if we talk about console.dirxml, then it also gives me a similar thing, but if I open it, it will give me the HTML format of it.
Okay.
Okay. So I can just expand them, and if I go here to this div, it will kind of select it there.
Yeah.
So console.dir XML kind of gives me something similar to this element here.
Yeah.
Okay, and I can go ahead and select all those things. Yeah. Now that's kind of the difference between console.dir and console.dir XML.
Excellent.
So not only document, I can also give document.body. Then it will just give me the body tag here. It will skip everything, every other thing, like the head here, the doc type HTML here.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I also do document.head, it will just give me the head portion of it. So if I want to analyze a small portion of my code, then I can use these console statements to see what the tree looks like.
Okay.
Okay, what are the associated styling components with it?
Yeah.
Those sort of things.
Fine.
Okay, and since it's all filled up, we can do a console.clear too. and it will clear the console. Alternatively, what you can do is right click here and click on clear console, and it will clear the console too.
Okay.
Now it will always store history, but if
Okay.
you don't want history to be stored,
Yeah.
then what you can do is clear console history, and the history will be deleted too.
Okay.
I don't want to delete my history, that's why I didn't
Yeah.
do it. Okay, so that's about dir and dir XML.
Yeah.
Then we have some inspection elements and like how to inspect a certain
Okay.
element. Okay, so we can just write inspect, and if I want to inspect say the body inside div, so document dot body, then it will automatically select the body portion of my element.
Yeah.
See, when I ran it, it automatically selected it,
Yeah.
right? So that's what inspect keyword does here.
Okay.
Okay, apart from that, we have some navigational components here.
Yeah.
How to select something. Say I want to select again document.body. Since I haven't placed any classes here or anything, or maybe what I'll do is add a class here. Class equal to title. Okay, let's do title body. Let's save it and refresh. And I can just give the selector as dot title, and it will give me the element that is associated with title.
Okay.
Okay, now this will only select one element.
Yeah.
Dollar is like one, it selects one element. So
Okay.
it is kind of you can say a shorthand notation for document dot query selector. So dollar is a shorthand for document dot query selector that you do in your JavaScript usually.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have something called document dot query selector all. So
Okay.
it will select all the elements that has class title. So if I go here and give this paragraph a class of title 2, save it
Yeah.
and refresh it. Yeah. So the shorthand for query selector all is double dollar. So if I do dot title, it gave me an array of 2.
Yeah.
So the first one is a div, and the second one is our paragraph element.
Paragraph. Okay.
Okay. So this is how you use double dollar.
Yeah.
And similarly, you have something called $X. So it
Okay.
kind of gives you, it's a path.
Okay.
So say I want to find what's there inside HTML body div. I want all the divs that are present inside my body.
Okay.
Then I can give the path HTML/body/div. It will give me all the divs that are right inside body.
Okay.
Okay. So it gave me 2 divs, one with the title and the other one with title body.
Title body.
Now just so that you don't get confused a lot, so if I have a div inside this div and some random text here too, then if I run that command,
Yeah.
it will again give me just the 2 divs there. It will not give me the div inside it.
Okay.
If I want to find the div inside that,
Yeah.
we have to give a div /div right here.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry, let me refresh it. Yeah, this will give me this div.
Yeah.
Okay. And since I had not refreshed it, let me show you the previous command too. It will just show me the 2 divs only.
Okay.
So it will give me like every element that belongs to this path.
Yeah.
only. So if I do a div/p also, it will give me all the p inside the div that's present inside the body.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll show you one more example just to cover all the aspects of it.
Yeah.
So if I have a p tag inside this div also,
Okay.
and I refresh it, then this will give me 3 p's.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay. The first is inside the first div, the other two are inside the second div.
Secondly.
Yeah. So that's $x, $, and $, and
Okay.
inspect.
Yeah. It looks like jQuery, right?
Yeah, it's exactly that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's jQuery only. So the next thing that we have are monitor events, unmonitor events, and get event listener. So as you can
Okay.
see, we have monitor events, unmonitor events, and get event listeners.
Yeah.
So what do they do? So say I have to monitor all the events that are happening.
Okay.
Then I can just call monitor.events,
Okay.
monitor events, and it will kind of log all the events that are happening inside my app.
Okay. So we can access all the events here, right?
Yes. So if I go back to my screen and just write here monitor events,
Yeah.
then monitoring events has been activated. So if I add any event here,
Yeah.
it will be logged. So screen resize is one of the events here. It's not getting logged. Okay. So anyways, monitor events will log all the events, and if I run unmonitor events, it will kind of remove all the events. And
Okay.
if I have any event associated with my page,
Yeah.
then I can get all those events. I can get information about all those events using
Okay.
get event listeners.
Okay.
So if I have click event attached to my document,
Yeah.
then I will get the click event. I'll get an array of all the events that are attached with the document here.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can just go ahead and check it. So document dot this was, now we can add some events here.
Yeah.
Okay. So register element. Okay, we have add event listener, and we can have a click event, and we can have a function associated with it that will be called whenever a click happens.
Okay.
Okay. So we can just do a console.log. And we added an event listener here.
Yeah.
Now if I do get event listeners
Okay.
and I pass document to it, then it will give me an object of all the event listeners that are added to my page.
Okay.
Okay, so since I added an event listener here,
Yeah.
that's click. It says me that there is an event listener click,
Yeah.
and it will show me what does it do. It will show me the function here,
Yeah.
and well, it will show me the other details about this listener. So well, that's how you can use the console panel of Chrome Toolkit very effectively.
Yeah.
And well, just use it, just explore it. You can be way more productive than uh, you are right now. Even if it adds just a bit more. Like after I got to know about all these functionalities in
Yeah.
Chrome, some functionalities have changed maybe
Yeah.
like with each update it changes, right? So that's why maybe some of the functions did not work here.
Yeah.
We'll get back to it, as soon as we explore the new versions of it.
Yeah.
So what we are going to do now is like use it all to create the new apps, so that like the development is much more faster, and it's a lot more easier, and you can use all of this to make the development time go really low.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, that's all about console panel, and that's all about this webinar.
Yeah, thank you, Manasvi, for sharing this information with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, like those are too many features as you have discussed with us. So thank you so much for that. So as we have completed yet another awesome webinar today, even we are also offering our courses on JavaScript, like data, like SAP,
UFI.
like SAP and AngularJS. So we have a coupon code even webinar 80.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can use that even you will get 80% off on each of these courses.
And on top of that, we have also launched our Konnect IoT bundle.
Yeah.
You can check it out on our UI5CN website. That's ui5cn.com. We have free ebooks for it, and we have created a new bundle for it.
Yeah.
That includes all the IoT courses. They have been like created by professionals here, and
exactly.
they are world class courses. So do check them out. They have been liked by everyone who have bought it initially. So we are combining it into a bundle and selling it as a bundle now. So do go ahead and check it out. It's really awesome.
Yeah, so with this we are at the end of this webinar. We will be back next week. So till then, happy coding, learn simple. Good night for now.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.